Okay, everybody, we are talking about keeping our community safe. And of course, one of the ways that we do that is we have the very best of the best in police training right now. You saw one of our own, Sabrina Salas Matanani, actually went through police training. Everybody's talking about this video, so check it out on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. It was part of In the Mix, and we also did a Crime Time live stream. Sergeant Paul Tapao was here. And Sarge, I know it was an experience for us because we actually were literally feet, as close as you and I are right now, from the training cycle. But, you know, a lot of people had questions on social media, and they said they can't believe that Sabrina actually was that proud, you know, was laughing. And that was just a completely natural response for her.
Yeah.
She'd never been through that kind of training before.
I guess, you know, I didn't prepare her for that, but I did tell her to be ready. And, you know, that's exactly what what you saw in Sabrina's face was exactly what we see when entry-level, you know, candidates for the position of POT or police officer in training step into formation and then come face-to-face with a cadre. If you haven't had prior military experience and this was your first job or your first experience with a cadre, this was exactly a great testament of what happened. And, you know, it really was a great way to feature that because here we had our academy that was a month and a half in, and, you know, cut to Sabrina being in, you can see the difference. You can see how her facial expression of the unexpected was to the men and women who knew what the consequences were and how to prepare for that. So you can see the progression and development with the academy. And, you know, again, we want to thank you guys for allowing us to showcase employment opportunities with just simply filling out the application and what we did with the Crime Time, and of course highlighting the academy in itself.
Now, I've got somewhat of a military background, and, you know, we've covered many times military training on our shows here at KUAM. And I can say that, you know, actually being right next to Sergeant Carl Cruz, the training cadre, that was about as close to military training as far as his attention to detail, stressing team dynamics, making sure that you have your head square, head screwed on straight, and you're learning everything by the numbers.
Absolutely.
And Sergeant Cruz actually has a military background too.
He does. You know, Sergeant Cruz he's one strap officer. You know, not only his military experience and everything with the Guam Army National Guard, but he's also one of our lead operators within you know, our Special Operations Division.
He was on the boat with us when we went out on Crime Time, another episode.
You know, he's a tracker and everything, but he understands the role of discipline. He understands the role of operation and the intent in completing an objective and mission. And you know, him accepting the assignment from being an operator with SWAT to being a training cadre with the department, he understands what needs to be done at the end state, the objective, and that's getting these fine men and women ready by January so that we can showcase them coming out into the community.
Now, those of us who are civilians, like, everybody watched that, and there was a high degree of, like, entertainment value to that because they're like, wow, Sabrina's, like, really, you know, getting chewed out. But there were so many people that were either current or former officers, even people, like you saw, there were people from LAPD that were jumping in, and they said, I'm watching this, I've got officer training and everything like that. That training cadre is doing everything by the book. They're like, you guys are doing it right out there. He had so much high praise for GPD.
He was. You know, I had comments from former drill instructors in the military saying Sergeant Carl Cruz was spot on. You know, and you know, his adaptability and what's going on with the situation. I know we had it for 30 minutes, but the way he adapted to it was spot on as a cadre because, you know, one thing that's important about having that characteristic or that trait is motivating the troops. You know, assuring them that, hey, this is the marching orders. This is the objective. We need to, you know, find the end state and how we're going to accomplish this. And, you know, like I said, former drill instructors were commenting and commending Sergeant Carl Cruz for a job well done. And, you know, speaking on behalf of that, it was really a showcase of where our men and women were being in that first month of the academy.
Yeah, Sabrina was asking me, and she goes, hey, you know, with your ROTC background, you know, was Carl just being, like, really mean on me? I was like, no, he was doing his job because if he does not get you absolutely 150% ready to serve as a patrol person, like, out in the field, he's failed at his mission.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the first thing we do is break them down. And any, you know, falling under being a paramilitary organization is once you step foot in that formation, there's an expectation that the job and their objective is to break us down. And it really is important that we get broken down because we have all our pride and our ego that gets broken down with that.
You train the humanity out of you.
Absolutely.
And get you focused.
Yes, you're spot on. And the rebuilding phase comes from within the cadre so that they can structure you to where now you become confident. You have a sense of confidence and a sense of assurance that you know what you're doing, and we prepared you for this because, you know, like I mentioned in the show, you know, you do not want to be a product of the environment. You be the environment, and the only way you're going to do that is understanding what you can and can't do, and your abilities and your capabilities in being a full-fledged police officer.
And Sarge, I know that if you were my training cadre, right, like if you were drilling me, it would be really easy for you to run me until I pass out or have me do so many push-ups until I like throw up all over the ground, right? But the big challenge for you is, can you get me to believe in myself that I can do more than I think I can do? Can you get me focused on the mission, which is to take care of Guam and the community, and to really be locked in at all times?
It's important that you stress it because, you know, the job, the whole purpose of it, like what we mentioned, is to make you a better person, is to make you the better you. And the only way we're going to do it is to break you down. And though people looking from the outside in, they're going to say that's inhumane, you know, why do people go through that? But those who've actually understand, you know, drill and ceremony, they understand the simple drill and ceremony, they understand the importance of discipline. And that's where it starts, is discipline. So, you know, being paramilitary and, you know, for the folks who are currently serving, you know, in all the armed forces, they can all relate to that, you know, as to the importance of drill ceremony and discipline and the importance of a cadre in what they do to shape the soldier or the police officer or any organization that follows that sort of regimen.
Okay, I do want to talk about galvanizing the mission, but we do have a little bit of business to get to, so we do have a crime of the week to take a look at.
Yes, this is a crime that occurred right outside you guys' back door in Route 16 Harmon, the old San Miguel Brewery. Please pay attention. You know, it's unfortunate that it happened, but again, the Guam Crime Stoppers is looking for anybody who can provide information to help us in this case.
All right, Harmon is our home, and this is one of our neighbors, so please, heads up.
The Guam Police Department and the Guam Crime Stoppers is reaching out to the community for their help relative to a robbery that occurred on Wednesday, June 12th at around 12:30 p.m. Now, the preliminary investigation suggests that officers from the Deadwater Precinct Command responded to the old San Miguel Brewery on Route 16 Army Drive relative to a robbery that occurred. And based on the interview with the victim, while at location, he was assaulted by 3 male minors. During the course of the assault, one of the individuals took the victim's wallet and bag. The boys were seen running southbound towards McDonald's. As a result of the attack, the male victim sustained injuries to his facial area. However, he refused any medical treatment. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
All right, Sarge, thanks so much. And getting back to the In the Mix and the Crime Time segment again, we got to go, but I've seen screenshots all over social media. People are making memes about like what Sabrina did. You know, they're taking pictures of her going through training. But I think you had the quote of the entire live stream and everything when you said a very interesting philosophy and a mindset of what really sets the importance of training.
Yeah, absolutely. That training really, you know, memorializes the reason why we stress the more you sweat here right now in training, the less you'll bleed out there in the field. And we want to assure the officers that we bring out there that they have the confidence and the ability to serve this beautiful island of Guam.
All right, outstanding. We appreciate it as always. Thank you once again. And thank you to the Chief for giving us that opportunity.
Thank you again.
Okay, everybody, you can watch it right now on our social media channels. And once again, as Sarge told us, why do we train? Because so that we can be at our very best when our island needs us, when it is at its worst. So we're back after this.